football is and always will be a very violent sport. So Ross Bernstein in this book goes into football's unwritten rules and its code of honor. And the code of honor is about respect for teammates, players, and the game itself. And separated into 12 chapters, and it's like a rule book explaining the do's and do nots of football. For me, I played football since third grade, and this was a great explanation of what football is really about. Because it's not just what you see on the field in games, it's a lot deeper than that. It's about how you build a culture and how you build a bond with your teammates. And Ross Bernstein, the author of this book, really goes into depth about it, about how people don't see how we grind all the time, and also how even in the most violent sport, we still respect each other. And I also liked how he brought in football greats like Jerome Bettis and even great coaches like Mike Ditka, because that was awesome to see, not just a pro players perspective, but pro coaches, and they even brought in some referees. They also went in depth about drugs, like steroids, and even like Patriots controversies like Spygate, and how that's not really good, obviously. In my many years of football, I learned how to respect people because of the unwritten code of honor. And, these lessons that I've learned have stuck with me through my entire life, whether it be in the classroom or, even in the locker room, and how to conduct myself appropriately. This book is about how to be a leader, but not a follower on the football field. And it was really good to see how these great pro players and coaches conducted themselves, because to me they're like my role models, and to see that they're doing the same thing that I'm doing even though I'm at a different level was really great for me. But I recommend this for people who love football but want to know more about it, and if you haven't played, then you should really read this book, because it explains that you don't need to just hit people to play the game of football. You need to be respectful of players, teammates, and even your opponents. It's a lot more than that. So I recommend this for people who love the game of football.
Go.
For my book this quarter, I chose to read The Son of Neptune by Rick Riordan. Rick Riordan is one of my favorite authors, as he cleverly combines mythology and his own humorous writing style. This draws the reader in with interesting and intriguing mythological stories, which also gives the reader the information they need to understand both the storyline and the humor behind ancient legends being dropped into the modern age. The Son of Neptune is the second book in Riordan's series, the first being The Heroes of Olympus. Both these books combine both Greek and Roman mythology and explain the differences between the two. I enjoyed The Son of Neptune more than The Heroes of Olympus, as my favorite character, Percy Jackson, is one of the main characters in The Son of Neptune, while not making an appearance in The Heroes of Olympus. Percy is forced to fight both amnesia and monsters such as Gorgons, undead, shades, and giants. Although he is labeled as an outsider, he must try to assimilate into the strict and orderly camp of the Romans. The odds are against him, however, as the praetor, or leader of the camp, hates him for something he can't even remember. Percy is also forced to join the fifth cohort, which is viewed as the weakest out of the five. This is due to an incident long before Percy arrived, where the Romans lost their eagle, an important standard that allowed the Roman army to carry the power of the gods, Jupiter in particular, into battle with him. Percy makes friends with two Romans from the fifth cohort, Frank and Hazel. However, Frank is still on probation, meaning he has not proven himself worthy to be accepted into the Roman Legion. Hazel, however, is a fully fledged Roman soldier, but is disliked due to the fact that she is a daughter of Pluto. Frank is also clumsy and unconventional in the eyes of the Romans, as he prefers to use a bow and arrow as a weapon instead of the usual sword of a Roman infantryman. Hazel is also disliked due to rumors that she is cursed. This underdog trio catches everyone by surprise, however, when they turn the tide of the battle during the Romans' war games. Percy, Frank, and Hazel manage to infiltrate the tower held by the first and second cohorts and win the game for the third, fourth, and fifth cohorts. After this, the three are given a quest to destroy a giant and free the giant's captive, Death himself. They are given a deadline of only a week, and if they fail, it means the destruction of the Roman camp and possibly the gods themselves. To free Death and save the camp, Percy, Hazel, and Frank must travel all the way to Alaska, where the Romans lost their eagle long before. Riordan describes Alaska as the land beyond the gods, meaning the trio will not be able to receive any divine help from their parent. I would recommend this book to any reader that is interested in learning more about both Greek and Roman myths and legends. I would also recommend this to anyone that is looking for a book as interesting as it is humorous.